beautiful stars. I hope that you're doing so well today. If you're new here, my name is Molly and I do all sorts of videos from book hauls to thrifting videos, things to do with sustainable fashion, beauty, and lifestyle in general. So if you like any of that, if that speaks to you, I sometimes even do paranormal videos, then this is the channel and the safe space for you. So for today's video, I have a collective book haul. It's a pretty large one. I'm just like surrounded by piles of books and I don't even realize how many books I end up buying until I see them like this. So this is pretty bad. I got a lot, but luckily I did thrift most of them, or I got them from the dollar store, so it makes me feel a little bit better. And I always love trying out new books, seeing what sounds good and just kind of go with it. I like fiction and supernatural books, but I also like chick literature. I kind of roll around all those different areas and see what sounds good. I've been on the hunt for a few different series like Harry Potter. I've been trying to thrift all of those because I have not read them yet, but some exciting stuff has happened, which you'll see in this video. And I've also been looking for some of Stephen King's books and a few others, so let's just get into it and see what we got. The first one is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I got this for 75 cents and I've heard really good things about this one. It came like this. I didn't do that to the book, I promise, but I've heard really good things about the movie and the book, so I was like, okay, do I want it? But after reading like the little back part here, I just knew that it sounded like something I would maybe like, so I just went with it, especially for only a couple cents. I just started the show True Blood on HBO and it's really good. And of course, what did I find? Dead to the World, which is a Sookie Stackhouse novel. It's about Eric and Sookie in this one, so I just thought that'd be kind of interesting, especially since I just started the series. Maybe this will give me more insight on the characters. I found A Christmas Blizzard, which is set in Minnesota, and I just thought that was such a cute idea. And it's basically A Christmas Carol, but different, A Christmas Blizzard. And the back here just says, this one guy, the main character, he is not into Christmas, he's not super joyful, but his significant other is, and so he ends up having to go out to North Dakota for a family emergency and get stuck in a blizzard. And when he's stuck in the blizzard, he gets visited by all these people telling him to be more joyful. So I just thought that'd be a cute one for when Christmas rolls around and the holiday season in general. I can just get into more cozy vibes and read something like that. I found The Time Traveler's Wife. I've been really into finding movies that were originally books and reading those and then going ahead and watching the movie. So I just did that with a book I'll show you in a little bit, but I just thought this would be a good one. I do really enjoy the movie. It makes me cry every time I watch it. I thought, well, if the movie makes me cry, the book will probably make me cry. And this is just like a heavy novel. I don't know if it's like the paper they used or what, but it's a pretty heavy guy and it just sounds so good. And I am probably a little late to the game, but I was only like probably in elementary school when this came out, so don't blame me at all for that. I found this book called Fabulously Fashionable and it's by Holly McQueen, and it's about a 28-year-old Isabel bookbinder, and she ends up getting like an internship at a fashion magazine. She ends up working for one or something like that, and she's really into fashion. And what kind of sold me on it was actually this quote from the Mail on Sunday, and it says, if you like Sophie Kinsella's shopaholic books and you miss Bridget Jones, then meet Isabel. And I'm like, okay, that sold me because I love Bridget Jones. I just already have a feeling I'll like this book, so this will just be a good like lighter fun read, I think, for me. And I love the movie Confessions of a Shopaholic, and so I just had vibes like that coming off of this book. Found Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, which I knew it sounded so familiar to me, and I'm like, that's a movie, I know it is. So it actually, yep, now a major motion picture. And this person, I think they had like their bookmark in like only the second chapter, so I'm like, is it not that good? But I've heard it's good. So I don't know, I just thought this would be a fun one to read. I've heard just a lot of good things, as I've been saying about these other books I've had already shown you. And it's basically, okay, so this is the funniest book you'll ever read about death. It is a universally acknowledged truth that high school sucks, but on the first day of his senior year, Greg Gaines thinks he's figured it out. The answer to the basic existential question is, how is it possible to exist in a place that sucks so bad? His strategy is to remain at the periphery at all times, keep an insanely low profile, and make mediocre films with the one person who even sort of is his friend, Earl. This plan works for exactly 8 hours. Then Greg's mom forces him to become friends with a girl who has cancer, and this brings about the destruction of Greg's entire life. Something about that just sounded intriguing and I went for it. Then guys, Goodwill, they hit me with a sale, so of course I had to go. And I found Stephen King's Pet Sematary, which I know will be just perfect for October or September. And I was thinking about like maybe working this into Mollyween for this upcoming year. I know a few of you came from Mollyween, which is like a Halloween fall series I have on my channel, and I just do like all Halloween and fall videos. So I think this would be kind of fun to maybe do like a book club or something. I don't know how that will work, but this is so cool. This is like a 1983 copy of the book, and there was another one of his books, but I didn't recognize it, and I was like, I just kind of want to stick to his classics right now, and then if I really like them, I'll like dive deeper. I'm allowing myself to be a little picky. This back then was $4.50 for this book, or $4.90 or something like that. I'm so excited. I've never watched this movie. This one and It are like the two that I really want to get, so I'm glad I got this one. If you've read that or any of Stephen King's work, let me know what you think, because I already know that he's kind of a genius, but I just it's fun to hear what other people think too. I found this one called Unbridled, and kind of similar to Fabulously Fashionable. It just had that vibe to it that, I don't know how to explain it. It's like early 2000s romantic comedy vibes. This one is about a girl that has a problem with commitment, and she leaves her fiance at the altar and just goes through a lot of different things, and it just sounded like Runaway Bride but in a book version. Okay, then you already know. So I told you all I've been looking for Harry Potter, and I found the first book. I did that in a haul maybe like a month or two ago, and then I already own the third book and the fifth book, hardcover copies. So that's all I wanted to thrift, but I was like, you know, when you're thrifting, I don't feel like I should be that picky. If I find the book, I'm gonna just get it. Found the first one in paperback, and then my friend actually found me the second book in her city. Venmoed her for that. I found the fourth one, Goblet of Fire, and I am so excited. It's in really good condition. This just made my day. I got this at Goodwill, so you never know what you're gonna find. Always check out the store, but you already know what Harry Potter is about, and I'm excited to read these books so much. I'm going to start reading them in the fall because I think it'll just be like the immaculate vibes for like that season. Talking about books that got turned into movies is the Nanny Diaries. So this is about a woman named Nanny, and she becomes a nanny for a family called the X family, and basically the mom is just not meant to be a mother. She is so mean and doesn't really care about her kid, and her husband, I believe, is like cheating on her. He's just kind of like a workaholic. I remember watching this movie. It has Scarlett Johansson in it. It's actually written by two people, so I just thought this sounded interesting. I've already seen the movie, so I knew that I kind of have an expectation going into the book, but it's actually there's a series, so there's another one, and I found it, but I'm like, I'm gonna just hold back and not get the second one, just in case if I don't like this one, I don't want to have the second one and not want to read it, you know what I mean? So basically, set in New York, love New York, a nanny, drama, you can't go wrong. The last one I found that was on sale at Goodwill was the 12 Dates of Christmas, which I know this is a movie now, or there's a movie by the same title, and this is about a woman that when it comes to relationships, she's ready to say bah humbug. She lives in England, so I was like, okay, stop, this is amazing already. Then her best friend sends her up for a dating agency, and she goes on dates all the time, and it just sounds very fun, very chick literature. And we're here for that. We are celebrating it. Dumpling. Oh my gosh, you guys, this book is so cute and so good. I was like smiling and laughing and so giddy when I read this. If you haven't seen the movie already, I recommend reading the book first. I know I'm being one of those people. The book actually has a little bit different of like a storyline. There are like little extra tidbits here that the movie doesn't cover, and I was like, you know what, the movie did good. I think it was a really good movie. I've loved that movie since it came out, so to know that it was a book, I freaked out. And the only reason I found out it was a book was because I came across Julie Murphy's TikTok, and she came out with a book called Pumpkin. Hold up, how did I not know? Where have I been sleeping under a rock? Like literally. Really good one. I started reading it on vacation in Hawaii, and I finished it when I got home because I actually finished The Devil Wears Prada, and it was very good, so I recommend that one. But yeah, so I finished this last week and I started on another one, which I'll show you. But since I finished this one, there is a companion book to it put in, and this one I got both of these on Mercari, by the way, for like only $8 in free shipping. This one I got for $9 in free shipping. It's a hardcover, so it's also very exciting, but it's about Millie Mitchellchuck. What's her name, I think, is it Hallie? Callie. I was close. And so these characters are already in Dumplin', but this gives them their own book about Millie how she's been going to fat camp every year, and then Callie is like a cheerleader, and they have informed this unusual friendship, which Callie in the movie is a little bit nicer, but in the book she's actually not very nice. So to know that she ends up having a good side is very nice and kind of flattering, so I like that. These ones are from the dollar store, and this one's called The Museum of Heartbreak, not Hypebreak. I don't know what I was trying to say there. It's about Penelope Marx's personal museum, the one that she creates after becoming face to face with the devastating, lonely-making, butt-kicking phenomenon known as heartbreak. Heartbreak comes in all forms. There's Keats, the charmingly handsome new guy who couldn't be more perfect for her. There's possibly the worst person in the world, Therese, whose mission in life is to make Penelope miserable. There's Penelope's increasingly distant best friend Audrey, and then there's Penelope's other best friend, the equals parts infuriating and yet somehow amazingly F, who has been all kinds of confusing lately. But sometimes the biggest heartbreak of all is learning to let go of that wondrous time before you ever knew that things could ever be broken. And this just sounded very like kind of coming of age, charming. I wanted to give it a shot, especially for $1. You can't go wrong. You hear me say that all the time, but it's true. And this one I just started. It's called The Plus One, and this one gave me How to Build a Better Boy vibes from the Disney movie. And it's about Kelly, and she is the middle child, and her brother is already married and has kids, and her sister, her youngest sister, is getting married, and she's been single. She is always constantly under pressure to have a boyfriend, to have a date, and she decides to make a robot into her date and slowly falls in love with him. It just like that instantly was like, okay, I can get behind that. This has intrigued me, if you will, and let's get into it. I was in Wisconsin this weekend visiting one of my friends, and we went to a bookstore, and I found Half-Blood Prince. Just wait. And the Deathly Hallows. I'm done. Thrifted, successfully bought secondhand all of the Harry Potter books. Thank you book gods. I am so grateful. So I have a mix of paperback and hardcover, but I'm happy nonetheless. And I know that I'm gonna just cherish these forever because I spent so much time finding them, and I'm just very excited to read them and really get into them. The whole reason why I wanted to find them all first before starting to read them was because I knew that I would get interested in them right away, because I already do like Harry Potter a lot. I know a lot about it, but I just haven't sat down and read the books. So some of you are probably like, how do you know a lot about it if you haven't sat down and read the books? But I still really like Harry Potter. I grew up going to the movies with my dad, and so it just has a really special place in my heart. And now that I have the chance to read the books, I'm very excited, to say the least. So these are all the books I found. I hope that you enjoyed today's haul. I'm sorry I didn't read like little synopsis on every book, but I still hope that you enjoyed. Let me know if you've read any of these, because I'm very interested in all of these clearly because I bought them. All right, I'll see you in my next video. Until then, shine bright.